This is Pastor Brian. I just want to reach out to our church family and kind of give an update on where we are with coronavirus, with what our plans are moving forward, with what things look like at First Baptist Church of Perryville. First of all, I wanted to just assure our church family that we are watching this very closely, keeping an eye on just reliable news sources and formulating our plan, just even hour by hour as things, as news comes up, as more information becomes available on what's happening, what's going on. And so I wanted to just express that. Also, we as church leadership, there are some practical steps that we believe we need to take in order to safeguard our community and our folks and our church. So moving forward, here's a few changes that we're going to make. First of all, for Sunday school and Sunday morning, we will still be meeting. So Sunday school, Sunday morning, we'll meet as planned as of right now. Again, this is a fluid situation. It's developing on an hour-by-hour basis. But as for right now, our services will meet. That being said, please use wisdom. Use discernment in coming out. If you're part of that demographic of folks who are most at risk, maybe consider staying home for that time and not putting yourself at risk there. Also, if you are in that demographic, that 65 and over, and you're socially isolating yourself, keeping that distance, trying to keep yourself from those who might be infected, and you need something. You need a pharmacy, someone to run to the pharmacy for you, pick up a script, or go to the grocery store. Please let us know. Get in touch with myself or the elders or Terry, and we'd like to make sure that you have the help that you need. So please do not keep that to yourself. Let us know if there's things that you need. As far as changes to our schedule, for the next 2 weeks, we are going to cancel our Sunday evening activities. So that would be Awana, youth group, Bible study. Those groups will not meet for the 15th and the 22nd, and then we'll reevaluate moving forward from there. We are also going to cancel our Easter egg hunt that's coming up in a few weeks. We decided to go ahead and remove that from the calendar out of caution and just safety there. Everything else, if you're part of another ministry group, you want to know, is your ministry going to meet? Are events going to happen? Please reach out to those individual ministry leaders. We're evaluating this on a case-by-case, day-by-day basis, and different ministries are going to have to take different kinds of precautions based on the nature of them and how they meet, and so reach out to your ministry leaders. I also wanted to encourage you, just pastorally, in Philippians chapter 4, Paul wrote this. He said, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." As we think about how we as Christians should respond to coronavirus and the cultural nervousness that is being raised all around us, Paul gives us a good reminder here that, first of all, we must always root our response to anything in the joy that we find in Christ. We can never allow anything to steal our joy. We must rejoice always in everything. And that's going to then drive out, he says, do not be anxious about anything. And that's a hard thing to do. That's a very challenging command that he gives us. It's our heart's temptation to be anxious and to allow anxiety and worry to creep up and to overwhelm us in the midst of this. And Paul says no. He says joy and anxiety cannot coexist in the same place, that one will win over the other. And he says for us as believers, we have to be careful, we have to be discerning, we have to take things seriously, and we can do all of those things while still experiencing joy that eliminates anxiety from taking over our lives. So he says, be anxious for nothing. Instead, he says, take this to the Lord. Let your prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And then he gives a promise. He says, as a result of this, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding. This is a divine peace. This is not a peace that you just work up to or you get to through meditation or any other human means. It is a divine peace, a peace that passes all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And let that be our testimony. Let that be our witness as we navigate the challenges of the next few weeks, as we process so much data that's being thrown at us and information from different sources. my prayer for you and for our church is that we would navigate those waters with grace, with care, with love, always, as Christians have always done, being those who are others focused, that we're looking to the needs of others, to care for others, that we would be those who come through rejoicing in the Lord, showing the world a peace that passes all understanding. I love you all. I will see some of you this week. Others, stay safe, and we will put out updates as required as the situation develops. Good day, good afternoon, and God bless.